Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And today I have with me one of these diamonds in the rough. His name is Dylan Laube. He's a running back out of University of New Hampshire. Nice to have you here, sir.
Same. Thanks for having me.
So, Dylan, I know you were an All-American this last season. Did an excellent job. You guys had an awesome season.
Thank you.
And now we're coming up into the last season of your eligibility, and
Finally,
so
yeah.
we'll see how all that goes. But let's talk about you and your story, man. Why don't you start us from the beginning? So
Yeah.
go ahead and share a little bit of that story for us.
Yeah. So I got into football at the age of 5. It was a league, it was a small we called it like a pee-wee league. It was my dad was the coach. The ages was supposed to be 6 through 8. And he kind of got me in at the age of 5, and I hated it. I was miserable. I was crying all the time. He was just like, Dylan, you have to stick it out. So it was me and my brother, because he's 2 years older than me. So he was 7. I stuck it out for the year. I hated it. I was crying to my mom all the time. Stuck it out. It was good. But and then the following year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna try it again. I switched over to running back because I was just like a bench guy. I was 5. I just was like, yeah, sure. At age of 6, I switched over to running back. I love the sport. Me and my big brother played together. We were actually on the Buccaneers. I started off I think when I was 7, I gained the neck roll. I was number 40. My dad thought I was Mike Allstott. And actually, I'm very superstitious, so I stuck with the neck roll since till my junior year of high school. So I was number 40 with a neck roll. And listen, it was a crazy look, but I loved it. Um, but yeah, growing up, I'm from a small town on Long Island. Um, I played multiple sports. My whole family is a bunch of athletes. My dad grew up playing hockey. My mom was a basketball player. Um, I played every sport possible. I played basketball, baseball, football, soccer, lacrosse, and eventually, of course, when I got older, I had to pick sports. Especially on Long Island, lacrosse is a huge sport, so I stuck with lacrosse and football. Um, Ever since growing up, once again, I feel like anyone you ask that plays at a high level of football, their dream is to play in the NFL. So once again, that was my dream from the start. Um, so in the fall was football, spring was lacrosse, but once again, I made the choice to play football, and so I got pulled up freshman year on varsity, and then I kind of took the reins ever since, and now I'm here.
Gotcha. So, interesting story again out of Long
Yeah.
Island. Ended up eventually going to New Hampshire.
Yep.
I thought it was interesting you talked about the neck roll and Mike
Yeah.
Allstott.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the build of Mike
Oh
Allstott,
yeah,
I
no,
mean, but
definitely not.
still a fairly decent sized player. Dylan, what's your current height and weight these days, man? Let's share that for the audience.
I got measured at 5'10", and I was actually just on the scale the other day. I weighed in at 211. So I mean, I'm bulking up a little bit. So feeling good.
Bulking up a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, interesting. Obviously, again, like you had mentioned, Mike Allstott. I mean, but I don't really see you as a Mike Allstott kind of guy.
Uh,
I mean, growing up in
uh,
Long Island, I mean, was there maybe a person that you were a fan of? I don't know, maybe like a New York Giant or a Jet or something. Which I
so
mean, I don't know who you're a fan of.
so I'm a Steelers fan, but growing up was definitely Adrian Peterson was my guy. I mean, growing up seeing him run was awesome. But now I would say kind of it's definitely I kind of base my game off of Christian McCaffrey. So kind of like I kind of look up to him now. But once again, growing up was definitely AP
Well,
all day.
sure. I mean, he
Yeah.
was one of the best in
Oh
his
yeah.
era, like,
Uh-huh.
hands down. So, completely
Yeah.
understand that one. Cool. So, you did a little bit of lacrosse in high school. I mean, I know that that is something that your player profile highlights. I mean, do you have any success in that sport, or was it, I mean, how'd that work?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't pick up my stick until probably the beginning of the season. But besides that, I mean, especially here, especially like around here, probably like this is the center of lacrosse for high school athletes. Once again, I train with top tier guys for lacrosse every off season. So, but yeah, I was all county my junior and senior year. Um, but yeah, I mean, I had a couple offers, a couple big offers for lacrosse. Um, Definitely bigger for lacrosse than football, but once again, my love was always for football. But yeah, lacrosse, I mean, anytime I mention lacrosse, I mean, I definitely miss it. It's a fun sport. I enjoy playing it. I actually during COVID, I joined a actually I never told my coaches this. I joined a lacrosse league, which is kind of pretty intense. But once again, awesome.
Well, let's not tell that
It,
coach, man.
yeah,
But
yeah.
hey, uh,
Definitely not
ob-
a good luck.
obviously, lacrosse was certainly a sport that you loved. Like you
Yeah,
said, could have gone the way of lacrosse.
100%.
At the collegiate level, but you decided to pursue football,
Yes, sir.
and ended up there at New Hampshire.
Yep.
Um, Tell me about New Hampshire for people who may have never stepped on that campus. I mean, what does that school mean to you? What makes it so special?
Well, first of all, it's a beautiful school. If you drive through that campus on like a good fall day, it's just beautiful. It's a pretty big school. It's about 16,000. But once again, I love it so much because it's not like super far in New Hampshire. It's super south, 45 minutes away from Boston. Um, an hour, no, probably like 30 minutes away from the beach. An hour from the mountains. So really, end of the day, if you want to go skiing, if you want to go to the beach, if you want to go to Boston, I mean, it's all around you. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, it's such a family atmosphere. I mean,
Cool.
since day one, it's always been like a second family to me.
So, what have you been doing there as a student? Can you enlighten me a little bit about your academic situation?
Yeah. Well, my major is I'm phys ed and health major. I'm minored in nutrition. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more focused on football, but once again, like our rules on the team are first comes academics. Um, it's definitely a tough school. I know a couple of my friends are in the business school, and they say it's one of the toughest business schools in the country. I mean, the school is definitely strict with their classes, courses, so it's definitely not a easy school. Academics wise, it's been good. It's been good. I try to get straight A's. Happens sometimes, but yeah, it's been good. It's been good. It's been fun.
Well, that's good, man. I mean,
Yeah,
again, just kind of talking about New Hampshire there for people
yeah,
that aren't familiar with it. I mean, like you said, further south,
yeah,
close to a lot more than what people think. I mean, I think every time people think of like New Hampshire, man, like they think that, damn it, man, that's up north. It's practically
yeah,
Canada.
yeah,
But of course it's not. It's down there, and you were just kind of sharing about
yeah.
the beautiful campus that they have. So
Yes, yes,
um, cool. So let's shift gears. Let's talk more about some football.
yes, sir.
Talk about y'all's offense there, man. When you we how would you describe it overall? Can you enlighten me?
With one word, I would say it's probably explosive. I mean, we got overall our team, we have 18 of 22 coming back. From the offensive side of the ball, we only lost two guys, which is Pat Flynn, he was our left tackle, and one of our key receivers, Brian Espinette. But besides that, we got guys filling it in their spot, and besides that, everyone's coming back. Once again, very explosive offense. And this spring, if you were there, you definitely saw a bunch of clips of that.
Cool. So, I mean, if a lot of guys are coming back, man, I
Yeah.
mean, you guys have a lot to look forward to this upcoming season. I mean, I was looking at, this past season and what you guys were able to do. I mean, you had a great year. It was you were 9-4. You got to the playoffs, and made some waves there in the playoffs,
Yeah,
man. I mean, made
yeah.
some people lose one or two. So but yeah, so interesting. I was looking up some of your stats too from this past season, over 1,200 yards and actually 400 plus receiving yards, which I think is interesting. And you're also a contributor as a return specialist. So
Yep.
you do it all, man.
Try to. Yeah.
Um, what do you feel separates you as a prospect? Is it that ability to do a little bit of everything? I mean, I kind of want to hear your words.
I think you said it. It's the versatility aspect of the game. Once again, I do probably about everything. I'm a receiver. I'm a running back. I played every special teams from my freshman year to now, from kick returner, punt returner, gunner, on the punt team, on the kickoff team. I've been everywhere. Once again, I'm that type of guy. If coach says, hey, we need you in this spot. I'm like, yep, let's go. So once again, I'm able to play anywhere, and once again, it's my craft. I love perfecting every single thing possible. So if it's at receiver, running back, kick return, punt returner, I want to perfect every aspect of that game.
So I was also looking at a lot of your games and
Yeah,
statistics from those games, and I kind of pinpointed a couple of them that I thought were really good. Posted 200 yards against Albany,
yeah,
as a rusher, almost 200 against Maine. You were very close there.
yeah,
And
yeah. It's close.
the one thing also that I pulled out here is you had a hell of a kickoff return for
Yeah,
100 yards against
yeah.
Richmond. So um, when you think about the moments from this past season, I mean, is it from one of those games? Can you share with me your personal favorite?
I mean, end of the day, we always talk about we circle one game on our schedule every single year, and it's Maine. And if you watch that game, it went to was it double OT or single? No, it was single OT, and we won by 1 point. Once again, it was a crazy game, awesome game. That's definitely the team that we circle every single year. Once again, that was the game that was the game that if we win, we are conference champions. So once again, that's definitely one game that spotlight was definitely probably the most fun, exciting game that we played all year.
Cool. Dylan, I feel like you've already put together a fairly solid resume there as a person who can pretty much a do-it-all type back. And I know this past spring, I believe, you were named a team captain amongst a handful other of your teammates. I do want to kind of ask you, how do you feel about being a leader there for your team?
It's an honor. I mean, once again, being able to be a captain in front of those 110 guys on our team, and how they kind of think of me as a captain now is just a huge honor. Once again, I feel like being a captain is more of a responsibility as well, and I'm just super excited with these guys, man. It's gonna be a fun year. We are super excited. I'm I'm just jacked up about it. Being a captain, with everyone coming back, it's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a
So,
fun time, guys.
looking into this last year of your eligibility, you have any personal goals, man? I mean, it sounds like I mean, at least last year, I mean, you hit a lot of those marks, man. I mean, is there something that you want to prove this upcoming year?
I mean, prove wise, I mean, for my team, I mean, we always say conference championship, but once again, I think this team is definitely a lot different compared to teams in the past for us. And I think our goal is national championship. And once again, a lot of people are going to say no, no. But for us in that room, there's 110 guys in the room and all those coaches as well. I think we are the only ones that are going to think that we have a chance to win a national championship, and that's all we need. So once again, that's our goal. And for me, if we win a national championship, that's my number one. It's my number one right there.
Well, hey, I mean, I feel like people might be sleeping on you guys. I mean,
100%.
like you had mentioned, a lot of guys coming back. Actually, one of the better quarterbacks, in the FCS, and I think a lot of people forget about him.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll see how it all pans
Yeah.
out, man. It's definitely
Check
going to
him
be
out.
an
Yeah.
interesting year. So
Check him out. Watch him this year.
um,
Be awesome.
so do have a couple more questions for you,
Yeah, of
bud. And
course.
obviously as a prospect, you obviously want to get into the league, and you're going to have a lot of doubters and detractors and haters, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of scouts who may not know, they're going to put a label on you, and it's this one. It's the fact that you're a small school guy.
Yeah.
And so how does that hit you? I mean, how do you respond to that when people say, "Hey, this is just a small school guy from New Hampshire"? I mean, I know that's a tough question, but how would you respond to it?
I mean, kind of all my life, people have been saying, "Hey, like you're never gonna go Division 1. You're never gonna play football. You're never gonna be a running back at a big school." I mean, for me, I think I keep proving everyone wrong. Once again, man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna be a process that I'm going to enjoy. Hey, it's life. It happens. It's been going on since I was small. So
Well, hey, you if you go out there this year, put up just as good, if not better numbers, get just as far in the playoffs, if not farther. I think you're gonna I don't know, turn some heads. And so we'll see how all that pans out. Definitely going to be interesting for
yeah,
you in New Hampshire. So
yeah.
I do want to take a moment to get to know this Dylan Laube guy outside of football. So
Okay.
um give us something fun, interesting, unique, or whatever. Your hobbies or something. So tell us something about you.
So my parents just retired in Florida, and actually we all got into pickleball. And listen, you talk about a fun sport. That game gets you going. It is so fun. It's awesome. So yeah, I've been playing that almost every single day. It's been a good time. Besides that, I really just train and kind of focus on football. But once again, I've been going back and forth from Florida to Long Island. So yeah, I mean, I kind of just hang out with my friends. But once again, besides that, I play a bunch of pickleball. So yeah,
Cool. Um, again, kid from a Long Island.
yeah.
If I were to come visit you in Long Island, man, is there a place for us to go? A place for us, maybe like a restaurant or a good hot spot to have some fun or something? Like where would you take me if I came to visit?
So where I'm from is the Hamptons. So it's like the bougie area of like Long Island. So once again, it's beautiful. It's beautiful here. This is the place that I grew up. Awesome place. There's a lot of restaurants from if you want some fish, if you love fish, I got a couple spots for you, a couple places on the water. But yeah, it's a very unique place. Town is beautiful. It's just a beautiful place, a beautiful and it's very quiet, especially in the fall and winter. It's a ghost town, and that's the perfect time. It's the perfect time to come visit.
So, are you a seafood kind of guy, a Mexican guy, an Italian guy? Like, where do you stand on those things?
That's a tough question. Now, that's a tough question. I think it depends. It depends. It depends because
Of
listen,
course, it depends.
yes, that's what I'm saying. If you go to a nice Italian restaurant, I mean, you can't beat like an Italian chicken parm. But once again, I love Mexican too. I love just a nice like chicken bowl with like guac, chicken, extra rice, just everything in it. Because once again, healthy. It's good for me. So yeah,
No,
I'll
I,
take
I,
it.
I get you.
Yeah.
And kind of where you're at too, there is a little bit of a mixing bowl of like a lot of different like
Yes, a bunch.
types of people and everything, and all those
Yeah.
different restaurants. So like, there's a lot to try up in
Oh
there.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, so a couple other questions, just kind of a quick answer, hopefully.
Yeah.
Uh, if you were to watch or if you were to recommend a TV show to binge watch, which one is it going to be?
Mm, mm. Actually, my friends just got me on that anime kick, and I just finished Attack on Titan, which I'm telling you, if you're not a anime fan, watch that.
All right, interesting. Do you collect anything?
Collect anything? Um, Not at the moment. I used to collect Pokemon cards when I was a kid. Now, no, yeah, no, nothing.
So you're not like Logan Paul, like carrying around like some
Oh
half
no,
million
no,
dollar
no, it's
card or
there.
anything.
No, yeah, no,
Okay, no.
no, no.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, come on. That's once again that's depending on the genre.
I
Also,
get you, but
once
at the
again,
moment,
oh, at the moment, what did I watch recently? You know what? I just watched. It's probably my top five. Have you ever seen the movie Goon? Goon,
Goon. It
Goon,
rings a bell.
hockey movie. Watch it. It's awesome. It's awesome. Super funny, gory hockey movie. It's cool. It's good.
Fun, fun. Let's see. Anything else about you that you want to share? I mean, any of your other interests or anything, or you want to move forward?
Um, yeah, no, you're fine. You're all
Okay.
good. You're all good.
Well, Dylan, this has been fun, just kind of
Yeah,
chit-chatting and hearing your story. I mean,
appreciate it.
again, kid from Long Island who's making waves there at New Hampshire as an excellent all-around running back.
Thank you.
Um, I want you to close us out and really just talk to all those scouts out there as to what they would be getting if they took a chance on you. So go ahead and talk to them directly and give them your pitch.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to say, I will be the hardest worker you have ever seen. I know probably everyone says that also, but I promise you, I'll be the guy, first one in, last one out, and I promise you, I won't stop. I will perfect everything that I have to do. Once again, if you take a chance on a kid like me, I promise you, you will not regret it.
Cool. Well, definitely pay attention to New Hampshire ball this upcoming fall, and
Sure do.
wish you all the best. All right.
Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it.
Sure. Dylan Laube, running back, New Hampshire. Check this guy out.